Okay, guys, Showboating Sports, man. Your man Scott Free is here. Today, we're going to talk about Rolly Romero versus Tank Davis on this video. So, before we go any further, if you are new to the channel, please hit like, subscribe, and share, and then hit the notification bell icon so when I do these videos, you guys will be the first one to know. So, we're going to jump right into this thing, and we'll talk to you guys about Tank versus Rolando Rolly. You know what I mean? It's going to be such a good fight. It's going to be going on too. So, but the thing that I want to talk to you guys tonight is about how the press conference went, how Tank was agitated, how the back and forth went, and a little bit about Floyd Mayweather. Because, you know, Tank is wanting to leave Floyd. So we'll just get to the beginning. So on this face-off right here, they kind of came in. They were sitting there, and you can see that Tank was a little agitated. You know what I mean? Now, most fighters got this back and forth thing that they do, but Tank seemed to be a little more agitated than usual. You know what I mean? I know Rolly's gotten under his skin, and he's gotten under Rolly's skin for quite some time, and the fight was going to happen a while back. But the reason why it didn't happen because some allegations came up on Rolly, which is crazy, you know? And the bad thing about it is, you know what? And I'll tell you this. Oh, I forgot to hit this. Let's get this thing started right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
All right, here we go. But it's a good thing that Tank wasn't fighting Rolly when he fought Pitbull Cruz, because he had a broken hand. He said he actually injured it right before the fight in sparring, in training camp. And when he came in, he would not have been able to fight Rolly with a hurt hand. So that was a good thing that, and you know what, maybe he could have, but I don't think Rolly would have. I think it would have ended badly for Tank if his hand was broken trying to fight Rolly. That's just my thoughts. You never know. I think he beat Pitbull Cruz convincingly. Let me turn this thing off right here. Also, I think that he beat him convincingly. I don't think that was a problem. But I do think that Rolly would have brought another level of something to the table of, because Rolly's going to get in there and fight dirty and play and brawl. So, like I said, I think that fight happened. It happened for a reason. So it worked out actually in Tank's favor. But it's still let's fast forward till now. So like I said, they've been going back and forth on Twitter, and it's been beef back and forth. And I know Rolly said it all started because they were in sparring, and I guess Tank really wanted to fight him or something like that. And that's how things got a little messed up. And that's what got the bad blood going. So Tank now, I think a lot of his frustration is coming from his contract with Floyd. Tank wants out of the Floyd contract. He wants to do his own promotional company. I think he's going to stay with Al Heyman, but he wants to shed Floyd Mayweather. Now, Floyd announced at the press conference, you know, on the same day that the press conference was, Floyd announced that he's going to be fighting in Dubai. He's going to fight a boxer who hadn't fought since 2016, who was a protege of his uncle, the one who passed away, Roger Mayweather. Sorry guys, I had a little bit of brain fog here, but it's a protege of his. And so now Floyd is going to fight this guy, and he announces on the same day that Tank has his press conference. And to me, that's disrespectful, man. You're Tank's promoter, and it seems to me that you're paying Tank back because Tank says he wants out. And that's the level of pettiness of why a lot of people don't want to deal with Floyd. See, Floyd's got issues, man. Floyd has made it to the top. His dreams have come true. He was the face of boxing. And right now, to be actually honest, Floyd is still the face of boxing. Because if Floyd steps back in and says, I'm going to fight, then he's going to he's going to be overshadow everybody else. I don't care if it's even Canelo. People are going to come watch Floyd before they watch Canelo. Now, Floyd did this to his own fighter, and that's why these fighters like Bud Crawford left Top Rank, right? So Floyd was trying his best to get Bud to come and say, hey, man, I can turn you to the superstar. Man, let me promote you, and I'll take you to the levels that you haven't been. Now, Floyd is such a big name that Floyd can actually do that for any fighter. But the problem is Floyd is going to always try to overshadow his fighters, right? And Bud said, I don't want any of that, you know? Earl Spence doesn't want any of that. These guys want their own promotional company. The days are gone where people can come in there and treat a lot of these fighters like crazy. They've already got a name. Now, Floyd helped Gervonta make a name for himself. We all know that. Floyd helped him out a whole lot. But enough is enough, Floyd. You know what I mean? Floyd, you just need to back up, man. Let these other fighters have their day, man. Let them have their day, man. You're already a billionaire. You've already done it. You've made your legacy. You've made your mark. You've proven your point. So you already become almost a billionaire. So, and you've earned over $1 billion. I don't know if you have $1 billion worth of assets and liquid together and that adds up to be $1 billion. Not sure. But my point is, Floyd, you've had your day, man. Let Gervonta have his day. It's like every time you talk about what you've done and all this, and nobody is upset with Floyd talking about himself. I'm definitely not upset about that because, you know, you started from really the bottom. You started from nothing, you know? Well, your dad, Roger, and all them, they had already had a little bit of clout within the boxing industry. They made a name for themselves. They were champions. But what I mean by that is you've obtained a level of finances that most people would even dream. I mean, it's hard to even dream of that, to be making $100 to $200 million in a fight. Floyd, you've done that. You got these younger boxers that's coming out that you're promoting. Let these guys have their day. But you feel like because he's going to leave your promotional company and you go, well, I'm going to overshadow him. I'm going to show him, you know, in the petty way that Floyd does. But what you don't understand, Floyd, is people are sick of that. You're stepping over dollars to pick up pennies because the way you're treating Gervonta is the reason why people like Bud don't want to come over there. Yeah, Floyd always fights in May. But my point is, he's been retired for so long. Jamar Turner said he always fights in May. But Floyd has been retired for so long that it's crazy to come out and have your fighter. You could have been saying this a while back. Floyd could have been saying this a while back. But it seems like it's a level of pettiness. Floyd always fights in May, but he always fights in Cinco de Mayo. He always fights at the beginning of May, right? But this time he's not fighting at the beginning of May. You know what I mean? I think he's fighting May the 14th. I think that's what it is. And then Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be fighting for the West End weekend for the holiday. He'll be fighting on that at the Barclays Centers. So, matter of fact, let me put this up because people might want to call in and sound off. I'm going to attach this to the screen. I got a number where everybody can call in because, hey, if I'm wrong, hey, man, you can call in, prove me wrong or whatever else, and I will let you sound off on here. So I'm getting ready right now. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this right. I'm going to put this in the subject. So this way you guys, and I'll pin it up down there. So if anybody want to call in and say what they got to say, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Hold on. Let me go and put this on there here. Let me put this on there. This way I can pin it because for some reason on my thing it's hard to pin it on there. All right. And sound. Let's put and sound off. We're going to let everybody sound off on her. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Call in and sound off. All right, there we go. So there's the number on the screen. The number on the screen is going up. So I'm going to pin it there. So for all the other people that want to get in, might want to call in and sound off. There you go. But anyway, that's the number on the screen. We're going to go ahead and pull this up. But like I said, man, Floyd, he normally fights Cinco de Mayo weekend. He always fights around that time, the Mexican holiday. And he did that because he was fighting. He had Mexicans on there, and he knew that they hated him. So that was his thing. He wanted to fight and have that out there. So anyway, like I said, guys, you want to call in, sound off, feel free. But so we're just going to keep on cooking this. But Floyd, I think Floyd needs to have his times where he allows these fighters to do their thing. Floyd he's already made it to where he needs to go. And so to me, it's like, I wouldn't have done my fighters like that. No way I would have done that. Not at the last minute on the press conference. No, I wouldn't have done it. Now, if Floyd had been saying, hey, for months, hey, I'm coming back and we're going to be fighting in May, that's understandable. Then maybe they could have tweaked Gervonta's time and Rolly's time. To me, it just seems like it's personal. That's what I got out of it. So I know his fighters are going to get that too. And that's bad for business when you're such a big name like that, and you and Tank is Floyd's best fighter that he has right now. And if you're trying to get other fighters in like Bud Crawford, you're not going to get Bud Crawford in if you're doing that kind of stuff. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think you get Bud in. Not me personally. I think Bud is going to pass on that because Bud is not going to be out there and be the sacrificial lamb where you out there sunning him and trying to make it seem like you're yeah, I agree with you, Jamar. Jamar Turner said Floyd makes Tank big. He did. He actually did make Tank big. But the problem is now that Tank wants to leave him, Tank wants to go off on his own and do his own thing, Floyd acts like he's being a little salty with that, you know? And I think that if you treat your fighters right, I don't think your fighters really want to leave you when you're helping him, you lifting him up out of there. But when you're doing a little petty stuff like that, and he's been saying that he's upset about something for a while. And you have other fighters that are saying the same thing about Floyd, you know? I just think that it's kind of cheesy, Jamar. I do. I think personally it's kind of cheesy. And I think that if you want more fighters, because like I said, he said, Jamar Turner said, Bud ain't going to no TMT, stop it. No, Bud's not. Bud is not. Floyd asked, listen, when Bud was leaving Top Rank, Floyd put it out there and was like, hey, I can make you that superstar. I know Bob Arum didn't promote you like he should have promoted you. So if you come over, I can turn you into a superstar. Terrence Crawford said, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. I'm not going there. So that was one of the things that Terrence backed off about. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it was out there. I saw it. And Floyd was trying to get with him and trying to sign him and trying to promote him, but Bud doesn't want to do that. And if you notice, people like Errol Spence doesn't let Floyd promote him. Now, there were Al Heyman. And Floyd is part owner, I guess, in PBC. You know, him and Al Heyman, they're really kind of partners. But Floyd being TMT Promotions is not going to he's not going to get Bud. And now Tank is leaving. So what do you do? Now Floyd is so big, he can go get more people up under his umbrella again. He really can. So that's not going to hurt Floyd. But I just think that when you're being that kind of level of petty, that you could have done better, you know? I don't know. And I don't know the whole ins and outs of that. Maybe Tank is not doing what he's supposed to do on his side of it as well. I know Devin Haney spoke up about that, and Devin Haney was telling Tank, man, just stop it. Floyd's doing a good job, but the way you acting. So it's some things that's going on behind closed doors that I'm not privy to. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. I can't. But all I'm saying is that when your promoter comes out and you know you got this big event and Floyd comes out and does that to his best fighter that he has, that's supposed to be the best in the game, that Leonard Ellaby says is the face of boxing. That's what Leonard Ellaby said today, that Tank is. Tank is the man. And I think Tank is a great fighter. I do. I think Tank has great potential. I like Tank. I also think that Floyd has done a tremendous job with Tank. But I do think that Floyd did that today to be petty, period. That's just how I feel about it. And if you feel different, hey, you can always call in and tell me how you feel about it. I just feel it was petty. Yeah. But maybe I don't have a dog in that fight because I don't know all ins and outs, but I'm just saying that's the public's perception. And you know, like they say, a person's perception is their reality. So if a lot of people perceive that Floyd is being petty and that's going crazy all over the internet, everybody's feeling that way. I know I'm feeling that way. He said, Tank can't sell himself. He can't even talk. Well, listen, you got a point. You got a point. Let me just say that. Even though it's a, let me say that point right there kind of stings because I do like Tank, but what you're saying about Tank is right. He's going to need a team around him. But this is the thing you got to understand. Now that Tank is a built name, there's going to be a lot of people that's willing to step in to help Tank at what Tank can't do. So you got to understand he's still with Al Heyman. And Al Heyman is not going to let that money get by with such a big name like that. They're going to keep Tank on PBC. They're not going to let Tank go. So it'd be foolish to let Tank go out and go to another network. So Al Heyman is going to step and work with Tank to some capacity. And if Al Heyman steps in and works with him, he's going to give him the tools that he needs to keep succeeding. Now, what will Tank do without Floyd? Who knows? I don't know how much Floyd was holding it down with Tank. I don't know. Floyd is a very powerful guy. Do I think Tank was better with Floyd? Yeah. I don't know all the ins and outs on that. I just don't know. I can't tell you, but I'm just saying the public perception is you don't do that to your fighter. Period. I can't give Floyd a pass on that, man. I mean, I just can't. Floyd has done a tremendous job with Tank. Also, when that last fight, when I think it was the fight before the Tank Cruz fight, it was with what's name at 140 when he fought him. He said Floyd stood up and said, "Man, you behind on the scorecards, right?" So Tank got in there and did what he had to do. So Floyd is always ringside and coaching Tank. So Floyd Tank owes a lot of gratitude to Floyd. A lot of his success is because of Floyd, but it still does not give Floyd a pass to belittle his fighters from what the perception is in the public. And that's what I perceive for it to be, period. Floyd is really not treating him right. I just thought that was petty, man. I thought it was petty, man. And you got to admit that. So you're going to say it's not petty? You got at least give me that, Jamar. Was Floyd being petty to announce that today? Because Floyd, if he's going to come back and fight, Floyd is going to be the main person on the card, right? There's going to be some under stuff, right? It's going to be some under stuff. I mean, it's going to be some under fights, right? But Floyd could have decided when he was going to fight because he can't fight on Cinco de Mayo. So that's out. It's too close. All right, Jamar, you said Rolly may give Tank a good fight. Rolly is a dirty fighter, man. Rolly is definitely a dirty fighter, man. So I don't know what to expect off of that. But I think Rolly's going to take a beating, man. I think what Tank said after the fight, they asked Tank, they said, Tank, do you think Rolly said he's going to knock you out first round. What is your thoughts on that? So Tank said, maybe he might believe that. Then Tank thought about it for a second. He said, you know what? I got to brace myself and and think about that one. And he said that because he said when people really believe something, that it can sometimes comes true. So he said, I can't just rush out there. And Rolly has power. Rolly is dirty, but Rolly has power. But Rolly is not a good boxer, man. He's just not. He's not, man. Rolly is out there relying on power and hoping that will work. And for somebody like Tank spars bigger guys. He sparred a lot of welterweights and stuff like that. So Tank can take a good punch. What's up, Mr. Finesse? Salute, man. Glad to see you in. Yeah, we're talking about this Tank and Rolly situation today. And I was saying that I believe that Floyd was being petty today when he announced that he's going to be fighting in Dubai on Tank's on the press conference today, the first press conference. I thought Floyd was doing that, and Mr. Jamar Turner said that he thinks that Floyd, Floyd, well, I let him type himself. You see it in there. He just feels that, Tank is not going to really do too well without Floyd, basically. And I don't know. I just think that it's petty, and I think that if we see this out that's so petty, he's got slow hands and feet. Rolly definitely does. Rolly definitely does. But, and I don't think that Rolly, I think if he beats Tank, it's going to be from a lucky shot. But I think in there all night, he's going to be throwing lucky shots all night. I really do. So how did Rolly make it this far with no skills? Well, let me say this. Let me say this. The guy has skills, but I don't think he has skills to be, as we would say, skills on the level of Tank Davis, Devin Haney, or Shakur Stevenson. Not those skills. I think he has enough skills to beat people at a lower weight class or people that just now turning professional. He's got some skills to beat those people. But beating people that's in the top 10, that's in the top of the 135 weight division, he doesn't have those kind of skills. Because you see his last fight, he came in there just swinging for the fences, and he was giving a lot of elbows and doing a lot of rough enough stuff. And then the referee kept telling him, stop, stop, stop. And he just kept on doing elbows and doing that kind of stuff. That's not boxing, man. That's more tough man contest stuff, you know? And at the end of the day, with somebody in there like in this match right here with such a big name like Tank Davis, the ref is not going to allow him to get he's not going to allow him to get off and do those kind of things. He's not going to be able to throw those elbows on Tank and do that kind of stuff. It's too much money on the line. It's too many bets out there. So they're going to keep this fight a lot cleaner than what Rolly would want it to be. So be ready for that. Rolly's going to lose some points. But I don't think Rolly even cares about that. Rolly doesn't have those kind of skills to where he can go in there and outbox a Tank Davis. Tank Davis has boxing skills. That's just my thought on it. Mr. Finesse said, Floyd, a weirdo, he won't just let these young boys shine. He's not, yeah, he won't. I don't understand that about Floyd, man. It's like, dude, you have gained a level of success that most people pray for, man, that they will never obtain. And you've earned $1 billion. You've made $100 million out of a fight, man. And now you got these younger guys that you're bringing up. Your career is over. It's over. Now, I do understand that you're making money, but stick to the what's the name boxing. I mean, it's not, I mean, it's the, what do you call it? Give me a brain freeze. But stick to the celebrity type boxing. You know what I mean? The exhibition bout. Stick to that. That's what it is. The exhibition bout. Stick to that. Now you're going to go do a real sanctioning fight with a real boxer who was a protege of Roger Mayweather before he died. He hasn't boxed since 2016, and that's the guy who you're going to go out there and box? I mean, man, Floyd, my point is this. Floyd should just be promoting these guys, stand out of these guys' way, and letting them have their day. And let's say Tank is doing something that's really irritating to Floyd. There's a way of addressing that without trying to destroy the man. Because if I'm a boxer, like I was saying, Mr. Finesse, I was telling Jamar earlier, I was telling him how Floyd tried to extend his hand to Bud and was like, look, man, why don't you let me come over this way, let me promote you, and I'll turn you into a superstar, a household name, which Floyd could. But Bud is like, nah, man, I don't want to be a part of that, man. He didn't want to do that. And I know Mr. Jamar was like, nah, Bud going over there, man, be real. No, Bud said he didn't want to be a part of that. And that's one of the things. You don't want somebody there trying to sun you, trying to be hog up all the spotlight, you know? And I heard someone say that Floyd is not the face of his promotional company. They were saying like Leonard Ellaby is the face of the brand. And one of the things about it is Floyd is always busy. Floyd's got so many other business ventures that it's not even funny. So Floyd has a lot of key people in position. So my point is this: Floyd should have just stepped out. He should have made sure, and I know Jamar said, this Mr. Finesse, this was Jamar said, that Floyd always fights in May. I said, yeah, but he always fight Cinco de Mayo weekend. So that's something that he's always had announced way ahead of time. But with him being retired, semi-retired, and now you got another fight coming on, it was just petty to do that over on Tank Davis's side. I think that was just him trying to put that and turn it in him. That's what I think. And I got to be honest with you, Floyd is wrong. I like Floyd. I like PVC. I have nothing bad to say about Floyd. Them as far as those promotional stuff, I think they do a really good job with Tank. But, you know, Ms. Finesse said Tank is all they got on TMT. It's not like Floyd make everyone big. Nope, you did right. And to be honest, and this is the truth, I'm going to tell you guys something that's crazy. With the power that Tank Davis has, and so many celebrities they knew about Tank because Adrian Broner knew about Tank first. He the one told Floyd about it. So to be honest, Tank was really going to be a superstar anyway. All Tank had to do was keep his nose clean, and that's would have been it. And Mr. Finesse said, I thought somebody was trying to call in. Mr. Finesse said, and on the 14th, there is a undisputed fight. Yep, sure is. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Floyd just figured he would just step in there. There's a lot of good things going on in boxing, you know what I mean? And then this is the problem, too. With Floyd jumping on around there, it kind of mixes everything up because June the 5th is when you got Kambosos versus Devin Haney. That's right around the corner. So when you start thinking about pay-per-views and stuff and you start getting these fights in together, it shakes up because a lot of people ain't going to just say, okay, I'm going to pay for this pay-per-view, I'm going to pay for that one. A lot of people are going to pick like one or maybe two. They're not going to just keep picking pay-per-views and saying, I'm going to get all of them. It's not going to happen. So that's why they spread some of these things out a little bit. But Floyd stepping in there was just crazy. Ms. Finesse said Tank will be fine without Floyd. It's now going to be about who he fights, and people will watch with or without Floyd. I agree. The only thing that I say about Tank is Tank got to make sure what he's doing outside the ring, he's watching what he do, because I think Floyd's got some pull. Floyd's got some power. And I think with some of those things that Tank was doing on the side, like the car wrecks and his girlfriend, that kind of stuff, I think the Floyd, his money, his pull and stuff like that has kind of helped behind scenes to kind of keep some of that stuff quieted down. I can't say that it has, but I can't say that it hasn't. I think that Floyd knows how. I think that Floyd knows a lot of good people in a lot of big places. So that's what I think that is. So I think that Tank definitely needs to watch what he does, man. Tank definitely needs to watch that. Tank definitely does. And that's the only thing that I see. That's the only thing that I see is about that, you know. I don't think that Floyd can stop Tank at this point. I think that Tank has alluded to saying that the reason why they want me to fight Rolly because it's the last one on the contract. And I think that he has to watch what he does because I think he thinks he's under the impression. That's the way I'm not saying he hasn't said that, but it seems like he's insinuating that they might try to rob him. Now, I hate to put that out there, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. I don't know. Tell me how you think about it. Do y'all think that that's what Tank thinks? That he thinks that they might try to rob him a little bit? You know, that if it goes, it's definitely not going to the scorecards. That's not going to happen. It's no way Tank and Rolly will make it to the scorecards. It's not going to happen. One of the two are going to be asleep before then. And I'm willing to bet you it's going to be Rolly. I think Rolly is going to come out and try to knock Tank out first 2 or 3 rounds. And I think Tank is, I don't know. I think Tank is going to, I don't know. There's so much bad blood there. I think Tank going to be swinging for the fences too. You never know. But Tank has a little more skills to rely on. So I don't know how that's going to go out. But I think the first 5 rounds are going to be dynamic if it makes it 5 rounds. And I think after that, then it's all Tank. Because once Rolly throws a couple of haymakers and make it as dirty as he can, and once the referee steps in and stops the dirty stuff, and Rolly's done swung for the fences, I think that at that point, I think that Tank will start, I mean, not Tank, but Rolly will start running out a little bit out of steam. Start getting a little bit tired, a little bit winded on that, and he'll have to back up a little bit. That's just my thoughts on that, you know. For right now. I mean, I was going to do a fight breakdown on it, man, but I really don't think you can do a fight breakdown on that one. Because I don't think boxing is going to be, Rolly's not going to let it box. He's not. I think he's just going to keep crowding Tank. That's what's going to really basically happen. He's going to crowd it. He's going to definitely crowd it. And then guess what? It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what it is. It is what it is. That's what it is. There's going to be 2 guys out there with something to prove. And I think Tank is going to play it safe the first round, maybe a little bit of the second round. Tank's going to get a little bit of respect, but I think Tank is not going to go out there and just trade with him right off the bat and just swing because he knows that Rolly could land a lucky punch. I wouldn't if I was Tank. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. But you never know. Never know. Because Tank got some skills, man. And Tank's been in there in the gym with some of these dudes in these dog fights. So Tank knows what he's doing, man. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see Rolly go down. Oh, it's echo, man? God, dog. Okay, now tell me how that is. Tell me if that's the echo. That should have been better, right? All right. I think that one right there should work. All right. But yeah, man, I think that I do think that Tank is I think that's gonna be an exciting fight, man. I don't think it's gonna be exciting. It might be just. I think for the first 4 or 5 rounds, it's gonna be really exciting, man. I don't even think it's gonna go 5 rounds. I don't. I think Rolly will get knocked out before 5th round. I do. I don't think he's gonna do it. I think the first 2 rounds he's gonna swing. After that, I think it's over. But I also think that Tank is gonna win this one, and I would love to see this next bout between him and Floyd, because that's where the next fight's gonna be, between him and Floyd. Not in the ring, but outside the ring, because I think Floyd is gonna back up. I think Floyd is gonna try to show Tank how hard it is out there without him, and I think Floyd wants to show how important he was in Tank's life. And I think Floyd's going to do everything he can to show Tank and show the world that Tank needs him. Because that's how he's going to get more fighters, you know, and make fighters want to stay with him. That's what I think. So I think that one's going to get kind of crazy as well. Plus, I want to see where Tank goes after he's away from Floyd. Maybe he might fight Devin Haney next if Devin Haney gets past Kambosos. Or maybe he'll fight Loma if Loma comes back. I mean, you never know. You never know. I think at this point, I think Tank is in the position to whereas in the mind frame he wants to prove that he's great, and so I think that Tank is going to start taking on bigger fights, and it's about that time. I think Floyd should just made the freaking big fights for him. I think Floyd, after 1 or 2 of these fights that he had, and the Pitbull Cruz and Rolly fight, I can understand Floyd giving Rolly a chance at that. But I don't think that Floyd had. Thought that through so much about the Rolly situations that Tank is keeps taking these fights that people are expecting him to win, and I think that Tank is really irritated about that. I don't know. But anyway, guys, that's straight up no chaser. That's my thoughts on it. So give me your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell icon. And that way when we do these videos, you guys be the first one to know. So until next time, guys, I am out. Thank you, Mr. Finesse. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you coming in, man. Love how you come, how you get to the message section, man. You always got some really good insights on everything that you talk about. It makes sense. Man, thank you, Mr. Jamar, for showing up. He had a difference of opinion tonight, and I appreciate that. I like that too, so I appreciate you guys coming in there and being a part of the show. So be back on tomorrow night. We're at same time, same place, around 10, 11-ish. Tomorrow night, my son has a track meet. He's a senior this year, ready to graduate. So by the time all that's over with, and then I got some other business deals, so we'll get on around about this time, a little bit earlier, probably around 10:30, 11-ish. So yeah. Anyway, guys, till next time, man. Peace. I'm out.